Okay, I think we're live. uh, I've not done a lot of streaming before, and it's been a while, so you'll have to bear with me. Mute so that I don't hear myself. Good. Okay. So gonna crack open the game, and show what I have so far. This is dev stream number 1. Very, very, very early build um of my roguelike. A lot of the basic systems are in place, and there's like some content and stuff. And also OBS makes it run slow for a few seconds and then it evens out. The performance is actually really good without OBS. I've run it a couple times with like just a bunch of enemies thrown in and like just, you know, big old stress tests. And it's gone pretty well. Actually, I think it's running slower than usual. I've recorded it a couple times, but I've never streamed it, so that could be why it's running kind of slow. But I can live with that. So the premise of this game is that you're a rectangle, not forever. There's like no art yet. You are trying to get aerial combos basically while you're fighting these guys. Because if you touch down on the ground mid-fight, then you lose your combo and you won't get anything good. Hi Chroma, hi Shan. So this is an item room with some beautiful temp art. And these items are stop heal and rapid swing. This one increases the rate I can swing at, and this one I'm really excited about. It's based on the ability from Hollow Knight where you can stop in place and heal yourself. I'm thinking of like maybe making some way that forces you to use it during battle, because it's not very exciting outside of battle. But yeah, it doesn't look like much, but I can hold the right bumper, which is where abilities go, and I can use it to stop in place and heal. Not the greatest item to like show the concept of this game, but it's pretty fun. And it's one of the items I'm honestly really excited about anyway. It does kind of have utility in the middle of combos because you can kind of use it to stall. Here's another 2 silly items. So this one is basically the gravity flip from VVVVV. And this is ridiculous. This has like very little utility in comboing, and I'm actually gonna rework it. Oh, and look at that. I broke the game. Yep, okay. That's embarrassing. I did a quick fix of a crash that I found, and it looks like that fix made it so that I think what's happening is that the enemies, I reworked the way that they die. And I think what's happening is that they technically exist right now, so the doors are still closed. So I think I'll just not re-enter. Um, I think I'll just not re-enter cleared rooms. That'll be an interesting challenge, I suppose. I reset the run, by the way. I mapped resetting to the select button right now, just for like easy testing purposes. Item room. Oh, this one's fun. This is the wall climb from Celeste. This once again goes on right bumper. There are a lot of items that are mapped differently. Oh, thanks Chroma. I'm really trying to like strike a lot of balances here. Oh, that's bad. Hang on. I think I can fix this in like 3 seconds. Maybe I could change the capture so that you can actually see me fix it. It's kind of not ideal to have game breaking bugs happening during a stream like this. But fortunately, I actually probably should have run the game without that crash, because Let's see if I can add like a screen capture real quick. Totally blast the pace of the stream. Display capture. Click. Hey, there we go. Okay, so the problem is that it seems like what's happening is that they spawn, yeah, and they get destroyed, but they no longer are supposed to be destroyed. They're supposed to deactivate. Instead, instance deactivate object ID, and then global.enemies left. Decrement that by 1. That should fix it. Hopefully the game will just draw on top once I open it. Once again, I'm not a very experienced streamer. I have done it in the past, but you know how it is. Let that compile. Hopefully that fixes it. That draws like in the middle of the screen, huh? What if I click like this? Maybe if I raise the positioning. Ah, there we go. Okay, cool. There it is, running especially slow since it just started streaming. You can get like semi-decent combos rolling. I'm still kind of tweaking the balance, honestly, of comboing. Oh, there we go. Now it's running a little smoother. Oh, never mind. It really doesn't like OBS. My computer is like old as hell and it's a laptop and it's kind of shitty, which I think is nice because it's nice to like run a game on an old laptop because then you know that it'll work well on most people's computers. But of course the downside is like, you know, the stress tests seem to go nice, but then you stream it and it's like, oh, this is trash. So yeah, this is not really good at all for comboing. It's I also haven't touched it in a while, and quite a lot of the base mechanics have been reworked, so I'm actually gonna reset. I'm not even gonna show that item, because I'm gonna change it anyway. I'm taking a lot of damage here. Another thing is that there's not a lot of items that use that blue meter yet. Oh, these are exciting. These are the gun boots from Downwell. And this is a kind of item that's like my favorite type in the game because it's basically like a double jump, and you can get like a bunch of them in one run. So I could get this, and then I could get like a third thing that would come after it. That would be basically a triple jump, but instead of a triple jump, it would be some completely different ability. And that's like the exciting thing about this game to me is that, yep, I died. This the frame rate is really throwing me off. I gotta fix that for the future. Because my plan is to kind of do like monthly-ish. I don't know how formal I'm gonna be about it, but the plan is to do monthly runs, to just kind of show the progress of the game, and like, you know, I think it's probably pretty exciting to see like how the game comes. Oh, I love this item. This is the cape from Mario World. Tweaked a little bit to function better in this game. It kind of has like limited hang time, where you hold, you know, for a bit and then you sink. And something I like about this is that instead of being effectively a double jump, it's just tied to holding the jump button. So like, your movement, in addition to being governed by like the abilities you have on the chain and in that one ability slot, there's also stuff that like works completely on its own. And actually, what is happening there? That was some bizarre momentum. This item and another item that works similarly are probably going to need some touching up because the code is a little bizarre for them, and like probably more bizarre than it needs to be. I'll take Rapid Swing. Game is like way harder with a shitty frame rate. If anyone knows like why I would be getting such a shitty frame rate, like maybe it is just my computer, let me know, cause I mean maybe it's the game. I don't think I've streamed like actual games on this computer before. Like I've streamed Switch games through an Elgato, but I've never streamed like a game from this laptop. So I don't know, maybe like I could try that at some point and see if it also runs like shit. So a big thing about working on this is that I'm trying to like strike a balance between like having a set of basic tools that's like decent enough for comboing that it's like not shit, but also having it kind of suck a little bit so that the spotlight goes onto the items that you get to help you combo. Yeah, that's something I gotta address, is like sometimes you fall into a room and you just land directly on an enemy. I think in general, I'm gonna have to really think about what I'm doing with like vertical doors, because you can't always get through vertical doors. I think I can get through this one like just about, but you can't always get through doors on the ceiling. Just, you know, depending on your kit. There we go. And that's no good. So I kind of just made it so that you this is the same room twice in a row. I kind of just made it so that the levels generate down. So like you know, you go sideways to get to item rooms and other special rooms, and you go down to get to the boss. And it kind of makes the generation a little boring, honestly. And I think I want to come up with some kind of solution to making it so you can always get through vertical doors without necessarily designing every single room with that in mind. Here is a fun item. This is the 8-way dash from Celeste. I really want to get like 2 chain items in one run. Also, here's the shitty boss. This is it's kind of an unfinished boss that I threw together a couple years ago, actually. I started working on this a couple years ago. And then, you know, I ended up doing other things and stuff. And now I'm coming back to it. It's like fresh ideas and fresh inspirations. And I'm like really excited because I was kind of afraid to commit to the angle of focusing on aerial combos, because I wanted it to be I wanted this game to like be able to hold all kinds of different platforming mechanics, and that kind of rules out the utility of like moves that you can use on the ground. Oh shit, I got poltergeisted. That's a mechanic that is maybe getting nerfed, but sometimes you take an item, and it's not finished yet, but sometimes you take an item and you don't get it because a poltergeist takes it. And then later in the run, you get to you'll get to fight the poltergeist as a boss to get the items, like optionally, right? I want it to be a hard boss so that like you kind of go through the whole run thinking like, fuck the poltergeist, I can't wait to fight it. Or you think like, oh god, I'm not equipped to fight this guy. It's kind of a risk reward thing, you know? Where like all your first choices are getting stolen. So you're like, okay, I'm stuck with all these second choices, but I'm actually going to get more items in the end because I'm going to take the risk of fighting the poltergeist to get all of those first choices back. I think it's going to be a cool dynamic. But it is really annoying to just randomly have your items taken. Maybe that's like fun though, right? Because, oh shoot, it doesn't take you to the next floor. See, because it's supposed to take you to the next floor when the boss dies, but, well, I did not. I reworked how enemies die, and bosses are enemies. So, yeah, let me quickly. Hopefully, future streams won't be this heavy on, like, having to go in and fix things. Because the game is like pretty playable. I've been like putting a lot of work into making sure the code is structured in ways that'll minimize crashes and such. And bugs in general. I'm like making things very modular, very like class based. But the downside of that, what am I saying? Sorry, I'm trying to focus on a million things at once. I'll get better at this. I don't think I'm that good at streaming. But what actually was I doing here? Oh, I put the destroy event in this specific version of the boss. That's interesting. I should probably put it in the parent of the boss. That would be wise of me. How am I gonna code this? It could be. This is. Because I made a last minute change. Because normally I don't work on weekends because I don't want to burn out. But I had this crash going on, and I kind of knew what was causing it, but like I didn't know how to fix it. And then today, when I was out on my walk, I was like, oh, I know how to fix it. So I was like, okay, I'll just implement that fix real quick, before I stream. And I did a quick test and I was like, it works. Perfect. But I didn't think about the collateral that it would have. So you have to bear with me here. Future streams, I'll try not to do that. I'll try to like not change anything. Like I'll probably do like a test run before streaming. Okay, so if I don't actually know, I don't want to have to consult the documentation on stream. That'll take forever. If instance, I might have to though. Instance ID? Yeah, I don't know. Let me crack open the documentation real quick. It's okay for this to be a sloppy ass stream because that's how you get good at things. It would probably be an instance properties. Let's see, objects and instances, instance properties. Object index. No, that's an index. I don't know if, is there a way to do this? Well, this is unfortunate. Oh, you know what? This is slightly silly style because I probably could have just used the debug action to go to next floor. Where is it? Yeah, the P key goes to the next floor. So I think that's what I'll do. Sorry about the detour. I'm learning. I'm getting there. Let's see. Also, I've been not looking at chat. Oops. The replenishment mechanics from Downwell. Oh, what the? Awesome ad. Base moveset does look very functional, still leaving a ton of room for upgrades. Get poltergeisted. Okay, thank you, Chroma. I'm glad you enjoy watching me work. So you asked if the gun boots had the same replenishment mechanics from Downwell. So the way the chain works is that it restarts when you land on the ground or when you hit an enemy. So effectively the gun boots replenish in both of those situations, which luckily is very similar to Downwell. So like adapting the mechanic was pretty smooth for this game. And when I say hit an enemy, I mean with your basic swing attack. Damn, I am taking so much damage. I'm probably gonna try to make the first floors of the game a little easier, by the way. I'm finding cape a lot today. There's 20 items right now. And actually the items tend to come together really quickly. You know, obviously they need like polish and bug fixing and all that, but the basic coding tends to be really quick because I've been putting a lot of work into the framework and like creating standardized ways to do things. So like if an item needs to do something like move you at a set direction for a set amount of time, then like there is a general mechanic that can do that. So any item that does that is basically drawing on a general mechanic that is all kind of polished and bug fixed within that mechanic, you know? So like ideally if there's a bug with that item, it's a bug with that general mechanic, and then fixing it will fix it for every other item. Of course, it depends on how the item is constructed, but that's how it is. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Both the Celeste items. Unfortunately, I can't take both. Wall climb is kind of new, and I like it, and it's cool. So I think I'll take that and see what I can do with it. I haven't played with it much. It's probably not as strong a tool as the dash, but it is fun. Oh, this is a fun room for it. It feels slow, but I think that's probably just... I dropped my combo. It's probably just the frame rate. Because I did tweak the speed to make it nice. What was that sound? Girl who definitely knows how these things work. Teehee. That boss is like either really easy or like brutal as hell. It's kind of based on the enemy that works the least well, for the way that the game is. And like, that's probably not great. Of course, I made it before I committed to gearing the game around aerial combos. Swing throw is cool. The swing flies off like a projectile. I keep losing my train of thought. Whoa! Big jump. What was that? Oh, I know what that was. Yeah, that's a mechanic that I... In theory, it's cut, but here I am still having it in the game, technically, but I'm gonna remove it for good. Oh, rest in peace. I noticed the wall climb didn't see that much use. I don't know if it was because like I wasn't trying to use it, or if it was because it's just not that useful. Of course, like, this game requires a certain level of focus in order to I should probably show off more items. I keep grabbing items like based on what I think will be best rather than like showing off cool stuff. Stop heal is just really good though. It's the only way to heal in the entire game right now. Yeah, things are still definitely getting tweaked. I added a system where enemies can't attack for a little bit after you attack them. And it feels like it makes it a little easier to combo without needing to use any additional tools. But I like what it brings to the game, so maybe I'll just... Here's Far Swing. Extremely silly item. Just puts your attack all the way out there. I might bring it a little closer because it's super unwieldy, but at the same time it's really funny, and I love it. Oh, you know what? I'm hearing myself. Hopefully... It's like quiet, so it doesn't really matter that much, but hopefully that's not causing any problems on your end. Let me turn that off. Once again, it's okay because it's my first time doing this. Probably about as one-to-one as it could without you designing the basic gameplay to match. This player character looks like a fuzzy caterpillar climbing a wall. Steam notification sound. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Cockroach tech. Echo is just barely audible. Okay, I turned off the echo, so we'll be good on that front. So yeah, this game has like no art yet. A lot of it's still kind of wet. It's like a wet ball of clay a little bit. I'm really still sorting a lot of things out. Oh, shoot. I'm not on the stream manager. That's probably contributing to the trash frame rate. I'm like on the stream itself. Video producer, creator dashboard. There we go. Don't need to be playing the stream over my computer. How long have I been going? 30 minutes. Wow. Time kind of flies. I'll probably, run through a couple more times and die. The game is kind of endless right now. It just, you kill the boss and then it does the same floor again. Also, I keep seeing the same few items. Such is the nature of randomness. Hopefully, once there's more items in the game, you know, it stops being like every run you see the same stuff. Oh god, the frame rate got even worse. What the hell happened? Yeah, I'm gonna have to troubleshoot this stuff for next time. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. To my crusty ass stream. Congrats on finishing your paperwork, Shannon. We're throwing a big party for you. Wow, what happened to the frame rate? Is there anything I can close? Let me close some things. Which I didn't think to do. I didn't think to close everything else before I started this. That's something I can do. I can be big smarties about in the future. I can tap my noggin and be like, hey, look at me. I thought of that this time. And everyone will cheer for me. And I'm sure, like, I'll do a parade in the streets and everything. That's slightly better performance. Ooh, this item is silly. Basically just blasts you forward. I'm probably gonna like slightly nerf the speed that it gives you. I say nerf, but I think it's a buff because like it's really unwieldy right now, which does kind of raise the skill ceiling. There's actually a mechanic right now where the faster you're moving, the more damage you deal, which makes items like this like kind of cool and helpful and exciting to use. And easier to use if your frame rate is shit. And I might keep that mechanic. It'll probably need like be cool to give it a sound to really distinguish, like, you know, here's why you killed that guy in one hit. There I just used it to get to the wall so I could wall jump. This thing is useful for a few things. Sideways movement is definitely like a little more niche than here's a silly ass item. Oh, I got poltergeisted. Okay. Sideways movement is definitely more niche than upward movement. Especially on the chain. Cause like as you can see on the UI, I use the dive and then it goes to the next item in the chain, which is currently nothing. So if I try to use it, it just makes this sound. But if I got another item that went on the chain, then it would go after the dive. So like I would dive, like I would jump, dive, and then press A again, and I would get that ability. And it would go after the dive. So like the order of items in your chain is really important. Because like it would probably be more useful to have a niche move like the dive, like a niche and unwieldy move like the dive later in the chain than something more controllable and simple like a double jump. And so there will be ways to have like limited control over the order of items in your chain. Like I'm thinking you'll be able to find altars that let you spend some currency to like move items in a limited way. Like probably it'll be hey, double jump. There it is. Oh, there's also the wings. This is kind of a tough choice. The wings are fun. The double jump is straightforward. I think I'll take the double jump to show the chain a little more. I love how things can chain together though, right? Because it's like you get the dive, which gives you a bunch of momentum, and then you carry it with the double jump, and you're just flying. It's awesome. Like that's the chain is like the big thing that I'm excited about with this game, and it's the thing that I think really like makes it stick out. Because there's a lot of actually this game exists because I love roguelikes and with the idea of like a platforming roguelike, that always really excited me. And my first roguelike was Isaac, right? So I was imagining like, oh, this game's gonna have a ton of different items, it's gonna have a ton of different combinations, and they're gonna like mash together in interesting ways. And in practice, that's kind of, I haven't seen a platforming roguelike that does that. Um there's there's like Revita, which is really cool. Um, but it's based on like uh it's not really based on like the platforming itself, you know, like you have a gun and you shoot guys and like you platform around to kind of avoid them. And so like it's kind of part of it, but it's like not the fundamental um basis of the experience. And that's what I really wanted to do. Like I wanted to make a game where like you can get tons of different platforming abilities and they like mash together in interesting ways. Um and you get these runs where you're like, "Oh man, look at this combo. Like this is a wild ass combo. You kind of fly through the air and do this." It's kind of sick. And like this is the stuff that excites me. Like I could gush about this for a zillion years. Like every run you get some shit that's like, oh shit, I can mash this together in cool ways. And like maybe you get your abilities in an order you don't like and you're like, okay, I really really want to like reorient these to make them spicy. Uh and that's like super sick to me. Like I'm getting I'm getting really excited cuz it's that shit's cool as hell and I haven't seen it done. Um like for a bit after coming up with this game, I was actually kind of scared to look at other platformer roguelikes because I was like, oh, there's no way I'm doing something new, right? Like surely this has been done before. And I don't think it's been done before, but it like excites me to no end. Like I love working on this game. Like sometimes I get sucked into playing it while I'm working on it because it's just like exciting as hell to be like, oh shit, this and this mashing together. And it only gets more exciting like the more abilities I add, right? Um I really want to take my time to polish them up and make them all like, you know, play nice together. Uh but at the same time, I'm really putting in the groundwork to make sure I can add lots of content to this game. Um, the goal for launch is like 100 items, but I can kind of like mash out the basis of an item in like 20 minutes sometimes. Like I coded the basic behavior of the gun boots in like 20 minutes. Because a lot of the systems are already there. Like hitboxes, like that's a general system of the game, you know? So it was easy to just create a hitbox that has all the exact properties that I wanted the gun boots hitbox to have. And similarly, like, you know, it goes on the chain, so it has the properties of a chain item in that like uh it refreshes when you touch the ground and all that stuff. Um, and like, you know, moving the player is like obviously like giving them velocity upward is like, you know, you don't necessarily need a like general uh you don't need to like do much back end for that. So it's like, okay, this item is like jank as hell and I need to fix it, so I'm not gonna take it. Otherwise I would, because I realize I keep taking gun boots. Um but yeah, that's the spark of this game in my mind, is like the sheer combinatorial stuff going on. And yeah, once again, that boss is trash. It needs work. um I'm a little worried that like because if you're not really focused, then it's easy to forget about your items. And I'm like, ironically, I'm getting excited and talking about like how fun it is, but like you see me playing it and it's like, oh, I'm not actually doing anything. um and I'm still working on ways to like mitigate that. Like one thing I'm gonna do is there's gonna be rooms that offer like more straightforward platforming challenges, but they won't be possible with the base moveset. So you'll basically have to like pop in to the room, like look at what you've got going on and say like, okay, I think I can do this with the current tools that I have. And then you're kind of betting on that, because if you fail, you're gonna like fall into spikes and get hurt or something. But if you win, you get something cool, like probably some money, or like maybe you'll even get another item or something. Maybe it'll be a chest and you won't know. Like you'll crack it open and then find out. Oh, thank you, Shan. I'm glad you think I have a nice voice. I think I do have a nice voice. I think it's pretty sweet. So yeah, I think that'll help reinforce, like, you know, you'll go into a room and the whole point of it is to reinforce like the usage of your items, right? So like if you're kind of like dropping combos all the time and not really caring, then you'll pop into a room like that and be like, oh, I want that chest. And then suddenly you'll remember that you have all these items that you can use to accomplish that. I think that'll probably help the issue of people kind of autopiloting and like forgetting to actually make use of their cool tools and just kind of dropping combos and not getting the currency from their combos or anything like that. And then the other thing is I might like nerf the base moveset like even further or something, so that it's really just like terrible to try and combo with it. So that it really emphasizes the utility of the items. And also, like, I'm sure, I'm reworking the combo system a little bit to be like, room by room. Like, you either combo a room or you don't, if that makes sense. Like, currently it can technically carry through rooms, although, like, it's kind of broken in that regard. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make it so that, like, if you touch down in a room, then you haven't comboed it. But if you beat the room without touching down, then you have comboed it. That's it. And then you'll get something good at the end of the room. Because I liked the idea of carrying combos between rooms, but like the more I think about it and like the logistics of it, the more I realize like that system would probably actually suck a little bit. So there's actually no reason to take this item right now. But this is the oh, no wait. I'm thinking of a different item. I was thinking of Haunted Sock. Haunted Sock is an item that increases the chance that the poltergeist will take an item when you take it. So it puts it at like 80% or something. So the idea is that you take Haunted Sock and then you intentionally pick the items that you don't want, hoping that the poltergeist takes the one that you do. And then that way you have like a high likelihood of like you get to fight the poltergeist later, right? And then you get all the items you let the poltergeist take. So now you have a ton more items. Like you have the items that you intentionally chose the one that you didn't necessarily want, and you have the item that the poltergeist stole. So you get like way more items with Haunted Sock, but you have to like you know, it's still like only an 80% chance, so you might just get stuck with the shit item that you chose, uh or and also like, you know, you kind of end up with like your second pick. You might like try to grab your first pick though. I don't know. I think it'll be cool. Uh okay, next floor. I have to use a dev command to do that right now. Here I am trying to heal while this guy's coming to kill me. Very wise of me. It's okay, I have the excuse of being distracted by the stream. I like how even items that do stick around is the ghost item that I have, and it's very similar to swing throw, but the concept of it is actually that it makes your swings like stick around longer. I might kind of rework it because it is very similar to swing throw, but stick around really shines in combination with this other item that makes your swings detach and then home in like a little homing projectile thing, because it makes them like do that for way longer, and it's really sick. But it it kind of sucks on its own, and I don't really, well, I mean, I guess it's kind of like a discount version of swing throw, which is kind of just a better item, which I don't know if that's like super interesting. I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring out how I want to handle that kind of thing. Oh, you know what I just realized? I think the chat isn't appearing on screen because I think it's drawing below the game itself. That's unfortunate. Let me read chat real quick. The little ghost was an actual item. Yeah, the poltergeist doesn't like actually appear yet. You just kind of grab an item and then you don't get it and you just cry yourself to sleep. um Figured that just meant the item got poltergeisted. Yeah, if you grab an item and like the other choice is still there and you don't see the name of the item, that means it got poltergeisted. Obviously, in the end, like, probably, like, there will be, like, a sprite of a poltergeist that appears and grabs it and carries it away or something like that. The movement alchemy herein looks so hexing. The only roguelike I've played a lot is Necrodancer, but I loved it. Oh, Necrodancer is awesome. It would be fun to try and squeeze some mechanic from there into this game. It's interesting how much of the movement here feels like an action game combo system. Ooh, like character action games, like Bayonetta or something. I should try those. I've never played those with like the prioritizing of juggling an enemy and maneuvering around them inverted. Yeah, it is like about kind of juggling yourself, right? Um you have a real nice voice. Oh, thank you. Actually, I already read that one earlier. Um, IDK, the potential feels like it's shining through pretty clearly just through this. Oh, that's super good. I'm glad. Like, I'm worried that, like, it's hard to communicate, like, what's cool and exciting to me about this game. Um, I'm glad you're seeing the potential here. Because I see it, and I'm, like, shitting my pants about it, because I think this is going to be awesome. I like the concept of rooms requiring certain items to complete. So the side rooms I was talking about that offer platforming challenges, they won't require like specific items. They'll be kind of like open-ended platforming challenges, and like whatever you have, you just kind of have to try to make them work for the situation that it's giving you. Um yeah, I'm not going to design any rooms around any one specific item. Um, Also, like having very weak base movement and needing items to get better, especially if this leads to a wide variety of builds that play very differently. Yeah, that's the goal. At first, you actually had a double jump. And it was essentially like having a double jump at the beginning of your chain. So like you could hit guys and then jump and then hit them again. And in practice, I found that I wasn't using any of my other items because it was like so useful. So I removed that, and like it made the base move set a lot more shit, but that means that like it emphasizes the items that you get and it leads to way more variety. So that's the way to go. Item Sicko's Delight. Yeah, that's this game. I think it hasn't since you started capturing the other window. Yeah. Good thing I fixed it. All right. I'm bad at wording sometimes. Didn't mean specific items as in one specific item, but more like a category of items. Yeah, pretty much. Like those rooms will be designed with uh like the general idea of like what some items do in mind. Um they they also like I think I didn't explain that, like, I think it's kind of fun for them to be impossible sometimes, because that means that, like, having the judgment to know that it's impossible and turn around before you, like, get hurt trying to do it anyway, is, like, part of the game, you know? So it's like, there'll be rooms that's like a side room, and you go in and you know you can't do it and you can't get the thing, but instead of being just kind of a dumb thing where it's like, okay, well, whatever, I guess I can't have this, just this room means nothing to me. It's more like part of the game is being, like, wise enough to realize that you don't have the tools and be like, okay, I'm not gonna go for this. I always try to, like, make sure that there's, like, interesting thought processes and, like, decisions that you can have during the game. See, this is why this boss sucks. Like, how are you supposed to combo this guy? In my defense, it was created before I started really leaning into the combo system, but, like, damn, it does suck. Fortunately, I have some tools to get some nice air times, but also I'm getting completely blasted. This run is doomed. Fortunately. See, this is another part of the game, is, like, you can decide that you're not gonna, you can just decide, like, that you're not gonna combo because it's risky. And I don't know how I feel about that. I think on the one hand, it's kind of cool because it's like, you can decide to play safe, and, like, the trade-off is that, you know, the trade-off is that you don't get combos. Oh, rest in peace. That's the end. So yeah, like, right now you can decide to play it safe, and the trade-off is that you don't get combos. Oh, I should have been using my stop heal. But, like, you can decide to play it safe, and the trade-off is that you don't get combos, but it's like, I don't know, maybe that's boring, maybe it's not exciting, or maybe it's cool that you, like, have the option to do that. I guess if I wanted to combat that, I would make it so that comboing can heal you. Maybe that could be an item. Like, an item that makes it so that you heal from comboing. That could be cool. That would, like, encourage a more aggressive play style. Yeah, I don't know. Conversely, it could be like, combos always heal, but then you get an item that makes it so that. No, actually, I don't know where that train of thought was going. But yeah, I'm excited about this game. I'm, like, super excited about it. I'm kind of, like, vibrating right now because I think this is sick. That dynamic reminds me a lot of Downwell. Sorry, I'm reading a comment right now. It's obviously on mine, but that dynamic reminds me of a lot of Downwell, how the combos are the most consistent method of getting stronger. Yeah, Downwell, I think this game shares a little DNA with Downwell. I think if Downwell had, like, a ton of items that were, that all gave, like, platforming abilities, then I would start to feel like, oh man, this thing I've made has already been made. I'm not making anything unique or interesting, am I? But that's not the case. Downwell is very focused on the gun boots. And a lot of the items are, like, sometimes affect the platforming, but, like, not to a huge degree. The item that rewards of playing really slow and collecting all the corpses. Yeah, I always feel weird about that item when I play Downwell, because I really want to heal, but, like, I don't want to end my combo. It's like, I've had this a lot with Pyo too, which is kind of a precursor to this game in a lot of ways, because it's also about aerial combos. I've been thinking about how this game is like an advanced version of Pyo, but it's like, there's a mechanic in Pyo that's kind of, like, hidden, where if you slam into the ground, then Bis drops their block. And it's kind of like it doesn't feel that useful because the game's all about combos. So like if you know, you don't want to do it because it'll end your combo. Like you'll get the block dropped and that's nice, but like it ends the combo, so kind of sucks. But if your combo just ended, then like why not? You know? So like I could like do some items in this game that kind of fill that niche where it's like, you know, oh shit, I just dropped my combo, but hey, I might as well use this ground-based tool that I have now because yeah, I don't know. I find that in practice in PO, I kind of always forget about that move. Just be like, I guess because the game is so combo focused that like once I drop a combo, I'm not thinking about like, okay, what are my options now that I just failed? You know, what new possibilities have opened up because of the fact I just failed? I'm like, no, I want to start a new combo so I can keep racking up points. I don't know, like maybe it's a mindset thing. Maybe some people would really appreciate items that fill that niche. I don't know. I'll explore it. There's a lot to explore. This game is very wet clay. Still molding it, still figuring out what works and what doesn't. But I'm really glad y'all tuned in. Thank you for looking at my thing that I'm like super excited about. This actually ran like way longer than I thought it would. I just wanted to do like a couple runs or something to kind of document where the game is at right now, but like I got excited. There's a lot of items that didn't show up too, which I'm kind of sad about. Cuz I wanted to show them, but hey, that's the nature of the game. Thanks for tuning in. I guess I'll end the stream now. Bye. Thank you.